I am under 2 hours out from my HYROX competition. It's Friday morning, I'm on at 9 AM. It's nearly 8 o'clock, so I'm just over an hour out. I'm about to get moving down there, get my warm up in, and then crush this competition. One thing I do struggle a lot is hydration. I always overhydrate or underhydrate, and both leave me dehydrated for the day. So I would like to tell you I'm doing something different this time, but I'm just drinking when I'm thirsty and hoping that works out. And I've consumed half an apple and some Powerade today for some carbohydrates, but that's about it. I've got a gel here, probably gonna have that in 20-30 minutes or so. I've got another gel I'm gonna try and have halfway through the race. So hopefully they do help a bit, but other than that, no nutrition changes or hydration changes. We are all checked in now, which was a pretty easy process, which is always nice. It's 8:15, just before. I'm about to have a gel, had some caffeine. I'm probably gonna start the run outside. It's also really nice sitting in this sun here. A few goals for today. I think the biggest goal is obviously time goal, and that's a sub 105. It's gonna be tough, I think. In Seoul, I got 107.40 something. So it's gonna be a big drop considering that was only 4.5-5 weeks ago. Gonna have to push really hard for it. That's exactly what I want. Been training really hard this last month, so I think I can get that 105, and that's why it's the goal. Where I'm going to make up the time is mostly in the running. I've actually been running this time because last time I was a little bit injured, wasn't doing much running, so that's going to give me the most time back. But also going to try and pace a little bit better at the start, not push too hard on things like a ski erg and that. Even though they're strong for me, I still push too hard, which obviously loses me a lot of time towards the end. And burpees, hopefully burpees are a little bit faster too, but we'll see. I have all faith in myself, have all the faith in the world that I'll get it. Gonna get the run in, get some caffeine in, get a gel in, and we'll be ready to go. Well, ready to go in and actually start warming up inside. Cam was a bad idea. A little bit too close sitting in the belly. I like caffeine. So I spent about 10 to 15 minutes getting some dynamic stretching in, heart rate up, slowly building it up throughout the warm up, and leading into the race, I was feeling pretty good. Felt like I probably underdone the warm up by about 10-15 minutes, but nothing too crazy. Then it was off onto the first run, and I was feeling pretty good at this point. The ski erg, that went pretty smooth for me, and I was straight onto the second run. Again, feeling good at this point. Then it was onto the sleds next, and this is feeling a little bit heavier than it has in previous events, but nothing too crazy. Probably a little bit of a mental low here, knowing that it was a bit slower. But something cool that happened on my second lap, I looked up after someone was shouting my name, and my dad was there, which was pretty cool because he lives in a different state to me and came over to watch me. So that fired me back up, which was a good feeling leading into the next run. On the sled push, I used a technique where you grab the rope and walk backwards, which is what you should do if you have a heavy weight there. But for me, the open weight is not that heavy. So I should have just stuck to my usual arm technique where I just roll it back. It's a lot faster. It honestly doesn't fatigue me too much. But for some reason, I thought the leg technique would save me a lot. But I honestly felt pretty crappier since I wasn't doing that much of this in training. But anyway, got that smashed out of the way. Same with the next run, got it done. Now, burpees are not my strong suit, never have been, but I was determined to get a better time than what I have in previous events. I felt like I was moving really fast again, but I probably wasn't moving as fast as I thought. By the end of this one though, I ended up beating my times in my previous solos, which is always a good feeling, and it set me up nice for the next run. So I got that run out of the way, and then it was onto the row, which I like to use to get my heart rate back down, especially because the row for me is a very strong station. After the row, there was a run and then into the farmer's carry. Farmer's carry for me is a pretty strong one, so I actually probably went a bit slow here, but honestly wasn't too stressed at this point. The next station was the lunges, and this is where the problem started. I got about halfway through my first lap of the lunges, and my right quad started giving out, which was a weird feeling because that doesn't normally happen to me, never has in any other comp or even in training, and that ended up giving me a bit of grief heading into the next run. The last run was my slowest by about a minute, maybe even 2, and by the time I got to the wall balls, it wasn't feeling great, to be honest. I got 40 or 50 wall balls done and I could feel it, but it wasn't too bad. Then it started buckling inwards, and that was not a great feeling. Then my body started to purposely pull it in because it was feeling nicer than keeping my knee out. So I lost a lot of time here. I think I was over a minute slower than what I have been previously in the wall balls, and I was nowhere near getting unbroken reps. So this last part of the race, everything fell apart and I lost a lot of time here, but I got the race done, which is the most important thing. I finished with a time of 1 hour, 9 minutes and 36 seconds. Now, despite not being anywhere near my goal time, which obviously sucked, I wasn't that bummed out because solo was only 1 out of 2 of my races on the weekend. My second race was a mixed doubles, and this was on a Sunday, whereas my solo was on the Friday. The mixed double, that was actually my main focus for this weekend. I was doing it with a friend, her name's Sarah, and we were on at 3:30 p.m. on the Sunday, which was a nice change from being in the morning to the afternoon, because the afternoon I was a lot more fueled, felt great, joints were all good. So we got our warm up out of the way and started our race. We were both feeling pretty good. We actually paced well, which for us is a win because we're not great at pacing usually in training. But yeah, we got our pacing good here, which was a really good feeling to start the race. We smashed out the ski erg and both the sleds. Again, we're both feeling really strong here. I was feeling extra strong in the sled push this time. I must have got an easier part of the turf here because it was definitely a lot easier than it was on my solo. After smashing out the sled work, it was on to burpees. Now, Sarah's a beast at burpees, and as you guys know, I'm not so great at burpees, so this was a good change. And when I did have to do my work in the burpees, I had a lot of energy there, so I could get them done nice and fast. So coming into the row, we're actually in a pretty strong position, which was a good feeling, especially because coming out of the burpees, I'm usually the opposite. Now, I started off the row, got the heart rate back down, but also held a good pace. I think I was in the 130s here, so nice and strong. Then Sarah done the middle part here, and I took this time to get a gel in, which is always nice, get some carbohydrates into the bloodstream. And then I finished this off here. So we ended up coming out of this one really strong too, and both with a lot of energy heading into the next run. After that was a farmer's carry, and I was certainly a lot faster here than I was in my solos, which is good. And it was something I was telling myself, looking back at the footage of my solo, I knew I went a little bit slow there, so I wanted to put out good effort here. Again, we both smashed this one out, which is a good feeling. So coming in lunges, we're both feeling pretty good. I think the adrenaline had hold of me because I was feeling absolutely great. Smashed my part of the lunges, Sarah smashed hers out, and we finished here. Now, looking at my watch, we were probably a little bit behind pace, but I knew we could still make it. So this last run, we absolutely sprinted and got that smashed out. Coming into the wall balls, I just didn't want to look at my watch again. Whatever the time was the time. I was just going to give it the best effort. I felt strong here. I felt like I was moving really fast. Looking back at the footage, I definitely was. So we crushed out the wall balls, and that was the race over. Now, unfortunately, we missed our time by 20 seconds. We wanted to get the sub hour, but we got 1 hour, 19 seconds, something I'm really happy with though, and it's always good to share the floor with someone else. So for me, HYROX Brisbane is next, and that's in April, and I cannot wait. I'm doing a pro doubles there. I'm absolutely going to crush the goal of sub 60 minutes. I'm just over 13 weeks out. I filmed my first prep video the other day, and everything's going smooth so far. I'm putting a lot of work in training, nutrition, recovery, mentally, everything. I'm feeling good, and I cannot wait. So as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see that Brisbane prep plus a whole lot more in between that. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.